I work at a civilian police department, and I had the opportunity to get assigned a dog, and I was very fortunate that it was our first explosive detection dog, so I had a lot of experience with the explosive detection already. So I was able to help start that program at my police department. We continued to do, explosive sweeps at sporting events, and a couple of VIP dignitaries that came into town. I was able to help, do explosive sweeps with that. And the biggest difference between a civilian and military handler is, military side, the dog doesn't go home with the handler at the end of the day, whereas on the civilian side they do. It's a lot more responsibility in that, keeping the dog at your house and making sure that the dog is taken care of, and it's in a safe environment. We train them to be social. Obviously, a dog is an animal, and sometimes they can be unpredictable, but for the most part, they're social. So they're good around kids, and that's the way that they're trained. Several years ago, they've trained dogs to be, aggressive response and stuff like that, to where if they find something, they would scratch or whatnot. Now they're trained to find something, they sniff, and then they sit as more of a passive response. They're not as aggressive. But at the end of the day, their main purpose is to protect themselves and their handler. So if they feel that their handler or themselves is has a threat against them, they're going to protect. Their nose is very powerful. So they've detected explosives, they've detected IEDs and stuff, and prevented loss of life of soldiers. Some of them have given their own lives because they're ahead of the soldiers, and then they step on stuff and they ended up dying for the soldiers. So they definitely give their lives for our military members, and they deserve some credit for that. There are always dogs that are deployed. As long as there's a conflict going on, there's going to be dogs deployed. They can contact either the state of Indiana. They can contact any of the active duty Army bases. Unfortunately, Indiana doesn't have any dogs assigned to Indiana because most of the National Guards do not. But they can put you in contact with a base that would have soldiers deployed with dogs, and then they can get their information, and then they can send care packages. And it's always good and rewarding to not just send care packages to the soldier, but to the dog themselves, and send treats and toys and whatnot.